Hello, my name is Jasmine, and I'm the teen librarian at the Lamont Public Library District. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a few titles featured in the Lincoln Award list for 2026 that you'll be able to find here at the library. At the end, I'll also be telling you about teen programs we are offering and service hour opportunities that you might be interested in. Let's get started. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again. But 18-year-old Iris Winnow just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the columnist promotion at the Oath Gazette. To combat her worries, Iris writes letters to her brother and slips them beneath her wardrobe door, where they vanish into the hands of Ronan Kitt, her cold and handsome rival at the paper. When he anonymously writes Iris back, the two of them forge a connection that will follow Iris all the way back to the front lines of battle for her brother, the fate of mankind and love. Shadow and Bone means lore in Rebecca Ross's Divine Rivals, an epic enemies-to-lovers fantasy novel filled with hope and heartbreak and the unparalleled power of love. Reader likes includes Seasons of the Storm by El Casmanano and Beasts of Prey by Ayana Gray. Resball by Byron Graves. These days, True Bruin is happiest when he is playing basketball on the Red Lake Reservation High School basketball team. Even though he can't help but be constantly gut-punched with memories of his big brother Jackson, who died in an accident, when Jackson's former teammates on the varsity team offer to take Trey under their wing, he sees this as his shot to represent his Oijabi Rez all the way to their first state championship. This is the first step toward his dream of playing in the NBA, no matter how much the odds are stacked against him. But stepping into his brother's shoes as a star player means that Trey can't mess up, not on the court, not at school, and not with his new friend, Gamer Kayana, who he is definitely not falling in love with. After decades of Rez teams almost making it, Trey needs to take his team to state. Because if he can't live up to Jackson's dreams, their story isn't over yet. Reader likes include This Thing of Ours by Frederick Joseph and Shadowed by Carl Duker. Plan A by Deb Khalidi. Ivy can't entirely believe when the plus sign appears on the test. She didn't even know it was possible from what happened. But it is, and now she is. And instead of spending the summer working at the local drugstore and swooning over her boyfriend Lorenzo, suddenly she's planning a cross-country road trip to her grandmother's house on the West Coast, where she can legally obtain an abortion. Escaping her small Texas town and the judgment of her friends and neighbors, Ivy hits the road with Lorenzo, who determines to make the best of the abortion road trip love story. Has transformed the journey into a whirlwind tour of the world, all the way from Paris, Texas to Rome, Oregon, and every rest stop, diner, and corny roadside attraction along the way. And while Ivy can't run from the incessant pressure of others' opinions about her body or from her own expectations and insecurities, she discovers a new world of healing and hope. As the women she encounters share their stories, she chips away at the stigma, silence, and shame surrounding reproductive rights, while those collective experiences guide her to her own rightful destination. Reader likes include Biology Lessons by Melissa Cantor and Red by Annie Cardi. Shut Up, This Is Serious by Carolina Exta. Belen Dolores Itzel del Toro wants the normal stuff, to experience love or maybe have a boyfriend, or at least just lose her virginity. But nothing is normal in East Oakland. Her father left her family, she's at risk of not graduating, and Letty, her super Catholic, nerdy best friend, is pregnant. By the boyfriend she hasn't told her parents about, because he's black and her parents are racist. Things are complicated. Weighed by a depression she can't seem to shake, Belen helps Letty hang out with an older guy and cuts a lot of class. She soon realizes, though, that distractions are only temporary. Letty is becoming a mother, classmates are getting ready for college, and what about Belen? What future is there for girls like her? Redirects include Gabby, A Girl in Pieces by Isabel Quintero, and I Am Not Your Perfect Mexican Daughter by Erica L. Sanchez. Starter Villain by John Scalzi. Charlie's life is going nowhere fast. A divorced substitute teacher living with his cat in a house his siblings want to sell. All he wants is to open a pub downtown. If only the bank will approve his loan. Then his long-lost uncle dies and leaves his supervillain business complete with island volcano lair to Charlie. But becoming a supervillain isn't all giant laser death rays and lava pits. Jack has enemies, and now they're coming after Charlie. His uncle might have been a stand-up, old-fashioned kind of villain, but these are the real thing, rich, soulless predators backed by multinational corporations and venture capital. It's up to Charlie to win the war his uncle started against the League of Supervillains. But with unionized dolphins, hyper-intelligent talking spy cats, and a terrifying henchperson at his side, going bad is going to look pretty good. In a dog-eat-dog world, be a cat. Read-alikes include Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Meyer and Hench by Natalie Zena Walscott. This Is My America by Kim Johnson. Every week, 17-year-old Tracy Beaumont writes letters to Innocent X, asking the organization to help her father, an innocent black man on death row. After 7 years, Tracy is running out of time. Her dad has only 267 days left. Then the unthinkable happens. The police arrive in the night, and Tracy's older brother Jamal goes from being a bright, promising track star to a thug on the run, accused of killing a white girl. Determined to save her brother, Tracy investigates what really happened between Jamal and Angela down at the Pike. But will Tracy and her family survive the uncovering of the skeletons of their Texas town's racist history that still haunt the present? Read-alikes include Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Bowley and Dreamland Burning by Jennifer Lathan. You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Byron. Charity has the summer job of her dreams, playing the final girl at Camp Mirror Lake. Guests pay to be scared in this full-contact terror game, as Charlie and her summer crew recreates scenes from a classic slasher film. The Curse of Camp Mirror Lake. The more realistic the fear, the better for business. But the last weekend of the season, Charity's coworkers begin disappearing, and when one ends up dead, Charity's role as the final girl suddenly becomes all too real. If Charity and her girlfriend Bezzy hope to survive the night, they'll need to figure out what this killer is after. As they unravel the bloody history of the real Mirror Lake, Charity discovers that there may be more to the story than she ever suspected. Read-alikes include The Last Girl Standing by Jennifer Dugan and Welcome to Camp Killer by Cynthia Murphy. Nonfiction. A Face for Picasso, Coming of Age with Crouzon Syndrome by Ariel Henley. At only 8 months old, identical twins Ariel and Zane were diagnosed with Crouzon syndrome, a rare condition where the bones in the head fuse permanently. They are the first twins known to survive it. Growing up, Ariel and her sister endured numerous appearance-altering procedures. Surgeons would break the bones in their heads and faces to make room for their growing organs. While the physical aspect of their condition was painful, it was nothing compared to the emotional toll of navigating life with a facial disfigurement. Ariel discovers beauty and identity in her young adult memoir about resilience, sisterhood, and the strength it takes to put your life and yourself back together time and time again. Read-alikes include The Words in My Hands by S.B. Ya and Wonder by R.J. Palaio. Accountable. The true story of a racist social media account and the teenagers whose lives it changed by Dashka Slater. When a high school student started a private Instagram account that used racist and sexist memes to make his friends laugh, he thought of it as edgy humor. Over time, the edge got sharper. Then a few other kids found out about the account. Pretty soon, everyone knew. Ultimately, no one in the small town of Albany, California was safe from the repercussions of the account's discovery. Not the girls targeted by the posts, not the boy who created the account, not the groups of kids who followed it, not the adults, educators, and parents whose attempts to fix things too often made them worse. In the end, no one was laughing and everyone was left asking, where does accountability end for online speech that harms? And what does accountability even mean? Award-winning and New York Times bestselling author Dashka Slater has written a must-read book for our era that explores the real-world consequences of online choices. Read-alikes include Ain't Burned All the Bright by Jason Reynolds and Family Style, Memoirs of an American from Vietnam by Thien Pham. Monstrous, a transracial adoption story by Sarah Meyer. Sarah has always struggled to fit in. Born in South Korea and adopted at birth by a white couple, she grows up in a rural community with few Asian neighbors. People whisper in the supermarket, classmates bully her. She has trouble containing her anger in these moments, but through it all, she has her art. She's always been a compulsive drawer, and when she discovers anime, her hobby becomes an obsession. Through drawing and cosplay offer her an escape, she still struggles to connect with others, and in high school the bullies are louder and meaner. Sarah's bubbling rage is threatening to burst. Read-alikes include In Limbo by Deb J.J. Lee, An Almost American Girl, and an illustrated memoir by Robin Ha. Lunar New Year's Love Story by Jen Luang Yang and Luan Pham. She was destined for heartbreak, then fate handed her love. Val is ready to give up on love. It's led to nothing but secrets and heartbreak, and she's pretty sure she's cursed. No one in her family for generations has ever had any luck with love. But when a chance encounter with a pair of cute lion dancers sparks something in Val, is it real love? Could this be her chance to break the family curse? Or is she destined to live with a broken heart forever? Read-alikes include Call Me Iggy by George Aguirre and Brownstone, a graphic novel by Samuel Tier. This fall, for tween and teen programs, we are doing Lattes with a Legend, Creepy Crystal Skulls, Sinister Cookie Decorating, and Murder Mystery Spies and Treason. We're also doing 100 books before graduation, where you read 100 books before graduating, log them through your Beanstack account, and win prizes on the way to 100. For service hours, we have Teen Volunteer Squad, At Your Service programs, Teens and Tots Lego Adventures, You Don't Look Sus Stuffy Sleepover Chaperones, and our Character Pen Pal letter writing program, where you can come in and pick up a kit to write letters to children as their favorite character. We also have book reviews and advanced reader book reviews where you get to keep the title after reviewing it. I also make Teen Take and Makes each month if you are looking for a quick craft to complete at home. This month's craft is an autumn leaves wreath. If you would like any more information about programs or service hour opportunities, you can contact me at jwilkerson@lamontlibrary.org. Thank you and have a great day.